Good morning, people, and welcome to the week of the Champions League. This is the week that the last round of matches for the Europa Champions League and the Conference League matches would be played for the group stages. So it's a very exciting week for football fans. It's a week that could spell happiness or doom for many clubs in Europe. But what is important for us is that we win these matches. We don't care what happens to them. What's important is that we win the matches that we select. And if you are new to this channel, please like this video, subscribe to this channel. We are more than a predictions channel. We actually help our subscribers, our viewers, our family, because we actually want family, understand how to predict and bet on football matches, okay, using data, okay. So the very first game we have is Lens versus Sevilla. Now we look at Sevilla at home, 5 matches played, 3 wins and 2 draws. They've been very solid at home. Sevilla, 3 losses, 1 win and 1 draw. Now what happens is Lens simply needs to avoid defeat to Sevilla to qualify third in the table and make it to the knockout stages, okay, of the Europa League. And that's a competition that Lens will definitely fancy. And given the fact that Sevilla has been very shaky at home, away from home, Sevilla has been very shaky away from home. 3 losses, 1 win and 1 draw. And we are pretty convinced that this is a game Lens should win or draw in 90 minutes. Okay. And Lens will be playing a sold-out stadium. The away fans won't be allowed in, so it's going to be mostly Lens fans in that stadium. So given Lens' home record, the fact that they've beaten Arsenal in this stadium, have drawn PSV in that very stadium, we have concrete reason to believe that this is a game Lens will win or draw in 90 minutes at odds of 1.29. The next fixture we have is PSV versus Arsenal. So this match is basically a dead rubber, so to speak, because here's a situation where Arsenal has already qualified and PSV doesn't really need the game, so to speak. Both of them, they are both off to the round of 16. So it's going to be a very, very interesting game, very, very interesting fixture, because PSV is pretty solid at home, as you can see, 4 wins and 1 loss. But then Arsenal doesn't really need this game. That's another interesting thing. So 3 losses and 2 wins has been Arsenal's form away from home. So it's a game that PSV needs probably a point just to be pretty sure, 100% sure of qualification. But regardless of how the game turns out, PSV is good, and then Arsenal is on a much better place at the moment because they've already made it to the round of 16. So I expect a situation where Arsenal will not put in a lot of effort. Right? I don't see their coach fielding his best players and really encouraging them to play out their heart. They'll have their eye out on the next Premier League game, which is a competition the Arsenal and the coach are more interested in. It's a competition that they'll feel they can win. So we have to look at it strategically from the angle of PSV wanting to go all out since it's their home to pick maximum results and points in this game. So the prediction for this game is simple. We are giving PSV a 2 goals handicap. If Arsenal should even beat them, Arsenal will not beat them by 2 goals, and data supports so, because you look at PSV's performance in the Champions League, it's been quite solid. It's been very, very solid in the Champions League, and Arsenal too hasn't been so solid away from home in the Champions League. And in recent times, Arsenal has been losing by 1 goal to away teams, and this is pretty disturbing, especially considering that it's a game that they don't really need. So that makes you wonder how well they'll play in a game like this. So it's safer to go with the home team that still has something to play for. And the odd for a 2 goals handicap for PSV is priced at 1.17. The next game we have for you is FC Copenhagen versus Galatasaray. Very, very interesting game. Right? A game that could decide who finishes second and who qualifies to the next stage. So it's a game of open chances for both teams. A draw won't necessarily help them if Manchester United beats Bayern Munich. So we look at FC Copenhagen at home, 5 matches, 2 losses, 2 wins, and 1 draw. And it was in their home that FC Copenhagen got to beat Manchester United. Then you look at Galatasaray away from home. 2 losses and 3 wins. So this is going to be a very, very interesting game. It's a game that the two teams are highly motivated to play. And I see both teams giving their all, right? Putting down sweat, blood, everything on the ground to potentially win. It's a game that's likely to end in a draw or a slight home victory for Copenhagen. But we need to trade cautiously. We need to look at it from the goals angle. It's a game that won't be short of goals for sure. So it's advisable we go for the over 1.5 goals, which is priced at 1.90. The next fixture we have for you is Inter Milan versus Real Sociedad. Okay, so Inter Milan, basically, before we even talk about their stats, it's a game that will decide who finishes first. It's not a game that is so important. Obviously, it's not a game that is so important, but it's basically a game that Inter Milan would want to win so they can, finish first in the table. Given that this is a team that they are hosting. When they went away to Real Sociedad, they drew 1-1, and now they are welcoming Real Sociedad to their stadium. And Inter Milan, as you guys can see, has been in superb form, beyond fantastic, if you ask me. Then Real Sociedad, on the other hand, has equally been in very good form, right? 4 wins and 1 draw. Right? And the last time they met, that was 1979. A lot of us weren't available that time. So the point I'm trying to make is, it's a game that Inter Milan will be highly motivated to win or draw. They wouldn't want to lose this game. And their performances at home has shown that Inter Milan doesn't lose easily. The last time they lost at home has been a long time, a couple of months ago. And they've equally been very fantastic in the Champions League. So the safest betting option here is a home win or draw for Inter Milan, who would most likely want to finish first, top the group ahead of Real Sociedad. And the odds for Inter Milan to win or draw in 90 minutes is 1.18. The next fixture involves my team, Manchester United. We've been pretty deplorable against Bayern Munich. So you look at Manchester United and you just feel like crying for them. 2 wins and 3 losses. And against Bayern Munich, that has been scoring goals for fun. Bayern Munich has lost twice away from home and won 3 times. But this is going to be a very, very interesting game by all angles. With United, you can't really tell what to expect because Manchester United is made up of players who choose when to play excellently, right? So they determine games that they will give their all, and they determine games that they won't give their all. So against a team like Bayern Munich, do you think they will turn up? Nobody knows. But when we are following data, and if we are following data and statistics, there is every reason to believe that this is a game that will have a couple of goals, right? A couple of goals. Because Manchester United in the Champions League has Onana. And Onana is the weapon fashioned against them, right? Onana ensures that the opponents score, right? Even if the ball wasn't going in, he'll somehow ensure that the ball enters into the net by hook or crook. So he's really passionate about helping opponent teams score goals. So with that in mind, and coupled with the fact that Bayern Munich is not necessarily a defensive team, they allow you to score and they score as well. It's going to be a high scoring goal. So our prediction is simple. We're predicting over 1.5 goals for this game because it's the safest option. It's the safest betting option. And the odd for it is 1.16. The next fixture we have is Napoli-Braga. Now we look at Napoli at home. 3 losses and 2 draws. But interestingly, look at the teams that they lost to Inter Milan, and then shockingly they lost to Empoli, and then they lost to Fiorentina. And so they've just been pretty funny, if I should put it that way. Now you look at their standings in the Champions League. It's important we look at the table to see where they are. I hope this table is updated because Flash score can be funny sometimes. So you look at the table to fully understand what this game would mean for Napoli and if they are still in contention. So Napoli has a chance of qualifying, finishing, second in qualifying, and they basically need to avoid defeat to Braga, and they just need a point or avoid a defeat to Braga. So given that Osimhen is back in the team, because Osimhen is their talisman, it shouldn't be a difficult thing for Napoli to do. They just need to avoid defeat to this Braga team that has been pretty excellent away from home. So, but against a Napoli team that knows that a draw will help them qualify to the next round, I think it's something Napoli should be able to do. I don't see them losing to Braga. They might not win, but definitely don't see them losing. So the odd for Napoli to win or draw in 90 minutes is 1.14. And then the next fixture we have is Salzburg versus Benfica. Again, it's another dead rubber, so to speak. Benfica is out of the competition, the Champions League. Salzburg as well. But this is a match that could, to a large extent, decide Europa League places. Okay, so if Salzburg avoids defeat to Benfica, they'll make it to the knockout stages of the Europa League, and it's something that they'll greatly fancy. And Salzburg is very solid at home. They're very difficult to defeat at home. Inter Milan had to struggle and beat them by 1-0 last time out. And then Benfica has been in very horrible form away from home in the Champions League. They haven't won a single game in the Champions League, especially when they play away. So they've been very, very shambolic, and there's literally nothing to write home about for Benfica. And Salzburg can be very, very stubborn and strong at home. So given the incentive that Salzburg would have, that if they manage to escape defeat, they will be in the knockout stages of the Europa League. I think this is a game that they will give it their all. And we expect a win or draw for Salzburg. And the odd for that is 1.56. And of course, the final game that we've got for you guys, Union Berlin versus Real Madrid. Now, Union Berlin, very disappointing form. 3 losses, 1 win and 1 draw. Real Madrid away from home, despite their many injuries, they've managed to consistently scrap positive results every single time. So they've been very, very excellent, and they've made their fans proud. They have a number of injuries, but that hasn't prevented them from winning matches. So this is going to be a very, very interesting game. Real Madrid will want to maintain their 100% record of not losing in these group stages. So what we expect from Real Madrid is to win or draw this fixture in 90 minutes. They have the quality to do that, and the odd for them to win or draw this game in 90 minutes is 1.26. And of course, this game should give a total of 6 odds. But I mean, as we usually encourage, you can make your edits, split it as you like, and this is just to give you a general sense of how to look at these matches. And of course, a second video will drop later with our short 4 odds, where we've taken time to reanalyze these matches and come up with 4 odds that are sure and proven to happen. And as always, please like this video, subscribe, share with friends, families, and even enemies. You can share with enemies, share with everybody. We need everyone's support, because it takes time and effort for us to analyze these matches and share with you. And as always, it's nothing but an absolute pleasure to share these matches with you, and see you guys soon.